Hey friends, check out these top 10 worst countries to live in 2024. And also, if you live here, you better change your location right now. These nations are grappling with significant challenges that profoundly affect the quality of life for their residents. From political instability and economic hardship to social issues and conflicts, life in these countries can be extremely difficult. Join us as we explore the conditions and factors that make living in these nations particularly challenging.
10. Venezuela.
Venezuela's ongoing economic crisis has led to hyperinflation, severe shortages of essential goods such as food and medicine, and widespread poverty. The country's political landscape is fraught with turmoil and frequent clashes between government forces and opposition groups. As a result, daily life for many Venezuelans is a constant struggle to secure basic necessities and safety. The lack of reliable public services, rampant crime, and the erosion of democratic institutions have further exacerbated the situation, making it one of the most challenging environments to live in. 9. Yemen. Yemen remains in the grip of a devastating civil war that has triggered one of the worst humanitarian crises in modern history. Millions of Yemenis are facing famine, disease outbreaks like cholera, and continuous violence. The infrastructure has been decimated, and access to healthcare and education is extremely limited. International efforts to provide aid are often hampered by ongoing conflict and blockades. The constant threat of airstrikes, the presence of landmines, and the general insecurity have made everyday life perilous for its citizens, contributing to widespread displacement and suffering. 8. Syria. After more than a decade of civil war, Syria is still one of the most dangerous places on earth. The conflict has led to massive displacement, with millions of Syrians living as refugees or internally displaced persons. The destruction of infrastructure, lack of basic services, and ongoing violence make survival a daily challenge. Despite some areas experiencing relative calm, the overall security and living conditions remain precarious. The continued presence of various armed groups, coupled with economic sanctions and a struggling economy, adds to the difficulty of rebuilding and providing a stable environment for its people. 7. South Sudan. South Sudan, the world's youngest nation, is plagued by civil war, ethnic violence, and severe poverty. The ongoing conflict has displaced millions, leading to a humanitarian crisis characterized by food shortages, lack of clean water, and inadequate health care. Despite peace agreements, sporadic violence continues to disrupt efforts to stabilize the country and improve living conditions. The lack of infrastructure, combined with political corruption and tribal conflicts, hampers development efforts. Additionally, the impact of climate change has exacerbated food insecurity, making life even more precarious for its residents. 6. Central African Republic. The Central African Republic is beset by chronic political instability and violence from various armed groups. The country ranks among the poorest in the world, with limited access to education, healthcare, and basic services. Human rights abuses are rampant, and the lack of effective governance exacerbates the plight of its citizens. International peacekeeping efforts have had limited success in restoring stability. The ongoing conflicts over natural resources and ethnic tensions have further entrenched the cycle of violence and poverty, making any substantial progress incredibly difficult.
5. Afghanistan.
Afghanistan remains a highly volatile country with ongoing conflict and political instability. The return of the Taliban has raised significant concerns about human rights, especially for women and minorities, who face severe restrictions on their freedoms and opportunities. Economic hardship, frequent terrorist attacks, and the lack of infrastructure further compound the difficulties of daily life for many Afghans. The country's reliance on foreign aid and the ongoing insurgency have hindered efforts to rebuild and develop a sustainable economy, leaving many Afghans in a state of uncertainty and fear. 4. Haiti. Haiti is a country struggling with a myriad of challenges, including political instability, frequent natural disasters, and extreme poverty. The lack of infrastructure means that many Haitians lack access to clean water, reliable healthcare, and education. The political landscape is often marked by violence and corruption, which hampers efforts to improve the living conditions and economic prospects of the population. The recurrent natural disasters, such as earthquakes and hurricanes, have repeatedly set back development efforts, leaving the population in a perpetual state of recovery and vulnerability. 3. North Korea. North Korea is known for its oppressive regime that severely restricts personal freedoms and economic opportunities. The government's policies have led to widespread poverty and chronic food shortages. Human rights abuses are rampant, with citizens having little to no freedom of expression, movement, or access to information from the outside world. Life in North Korea is marked by a constant struggle for survival under a regime that prioritizes military might over the welfare of its people. The isolation from the international community and the strict control over all aspects of life make it one of the most difficult places to live. 2. Somalia. Somalia continues to face significant challenges from ongoing conflict, political instability, and extreme poverty. The lack of a strong central government has allowed terrorist groups and warlords to exert control over large areas of the country. Frequent terrorist attacks, kidnappings, and clan-based violence create a dangerous environment for civilians. Humanitarian efforts are often hindered by insecurity, making it difficult to provide aid to those in need. The pervasive lawlessness and the severe drought conditions have exacerbated the humanitarian crisis, leaving millions in desperate need of assistance. 1. Democratic Republic of Congo. The Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, tops our list due to its severe and multifaceted crises. The country faces continuous violence from numerous armed groups, widespread poverty, and pervasive human rights abuses. The DRC's vast natural resources have fueled conflicts rather than development, leading to corruption and exploitation. The lack of infrastructure and basic services, combined with frequent outbreaks of diseases like Ebola, make living conditions extremely harsh for its population. The ongoing conflict and instability have left millions displaced, with little hope for improvement in the near future. Conclusion: these countries face immense challenges that significantly impact the lives of their residents. From conflict and political instability to economic hardship and lack of basic services, living in these nations can be incredibly tough. Our thoughts go out to the people enduring these conditions, and we hope for a future where these issues can be resolved and quality of life can improve for all. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful content.